Welcome back to the Doug McConey vlog. This week we have our first 5-city week of season 2. It's Sunday night. I just landed in Minneapolis and we're going to be talking about project management. What are some of the tips and tricks that I've learned along the way on how to manage projects? Minneapolis, City 1. Let's get this week going, shall we? All right, it's a chilly morning here in Minneapolis. One of my mentors who appeared on the vlog, Tad Fowler, explained that public accounting, law, any service industry, it's a simple business model, 4 components. You gotta sell the work, you gotta do it, you gotta bill it, and collect it. Clients, admittedly, are only concerned with the doing part. They don't care about the sale, or the bill, or the collect. But what's important for both the doing as well as the entire life cycle in the service industry is really diligent and strong project management. That is the glue that keeps all of this together. All right, I made it to city number 2. All right, made it to city number 2, here in an undisclosed location in Michigan. I now need to drive to Cleveland, Ohio. It's a few hours. The first really important key to project management is staying organized. So farming out the organization and making sure that various people on your team are responsible for it is a good way for, as a manager, director, for you to stay organized, and it also empowers the people that you work for to be able to give them more responsibility than they might otherwise have at that level. Matthias.
Hey Doug, how you doing?
Good, man. So I'm doing my vlog this week on project management. Holy cow, this chair is low.
Oh, rider.
What advice, did you put this camera in here?
I did not. It must have been just appeared. Maybe one of my assistants did it.
What advice do you have for the audience on project management? We worked a lot together. In fact, you were one of the project managers for several of my projects. You're a partner now. Matt appeared on the famous Steve Bybee Partner Admission
Day.
vlog.
That was a good day.
Still one of the highest viewed vlogs that I have. Yeah. What advice do you have for people on project management?
Well, I mean, the biggest advice I would have, and it's funny how often this comes up in a lot of different themes and even some of the presentations you've done, Doug, is really expectations need to be absolutely clear between you and your client or the other stakeholders affected. You got to have a talk about how you want to manage the project, and that includes taking into account some of the personal preferences, quirks, processes, things like that are already sort of built in before you even arrive for the project. So, you know, my number one tip would be talk about it well before you have a project to manage and understand sort of philosophically how you want to approach it. Makes it a lot easier to make sure you're on track with expectations.
Great advice. Thanks, Matt. So we're at the Cavs game. My curse is going to be my first experience seeing LeBron James live. Go Cavs. 6:30 in the morning. City number 3 this week, check. With Cleveland, Matt Wallace, my fellow international tax partner, articulated a lot better than I could. The way I would summarize it, you gotta communicate. Communicating with your team, it requires communicating with your boss, and most important, it requires communicating with your client. We got about a 4-hour drive to city number 4. 4 to 4. Let's do this. Made it to city number 4, Cincinnati, Ohio. 4-hour driving stuff, not an ideal way to schedule a week, but there aren't direct flights between these cities that I've been going to, so whatever. Next key to project management, creative problem solving. When you're in the middle of a project, issues always come up in all different areas, whether they're technical issues, practical issues, whatever. And it's important to be able to creatively solve those problems. So, made it back to St. Louis, city number 5. Besides being able to be a creative problem solver, taking something that you've learned or a concept from one project and one set of facts and being able to apply that to another situation is a really important characteristic for project management. The last piece of project management is just being able to make decisions. The ability to be decisive and then the ability to also understand when you need to go and get other support is critically important. So, thanks for tuning in. If you like what you see, mash that like button. Stay tuned next week for another exciting edition of the Doug McHoney Vlog.